Welcome back to Digital Entertainment, your home for video games, comics, movies, TV, and animation. Now let's get into the video. Batman is an awesome, straight up a ton of DC's greatest stories come from the Dark Knight, and for good reason. On the surface, he looks like a brooding, dark, edgy character, but the deeper you go and realize he's actually caring, compassionate, and one of the most strong-willed men in all of the comics. He puts his life on the line every single day, so no child ever has to suffer the same tragedy he did as a kid. Batman has been DC's face of the biggest cash cow for decades. Movies, cartoons, video games, even anime. They've completely flooded the market with Batman, while Superman has mostly been mediocre with only a handful of true classics. DC has completely buried us in Batman, countless stories, crossovers, Elseworld tales, multiversal takes. At this point, they release so many different versions of the character that it's honestly becoming overwhelming. So yeah, there are so many versions of Batman now, it's actually insane. You can call him awesome all you want, but DC has milked the character to death, until Absolute Batman came along. This book was created by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta to launch DC's brand new Absolute Universe, and it completely took the comic book industry by storm. It's selling 300,000 to 400,000 copies every issue. It's moved over 8.2 million units as of 2025, constantly sitting on top of the 5 best-selling comics every month. And the craziest part, it's even putting in people who'd never read comics before. Never have I seen a comic book series blow up this fast since Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'll put money on it, Absolute Batman has already surpassed it. So why the hell is Absolute Batman blowing up like this? What makes it so special? Honestly, there's only one word that fits: real. Spoilers ahead, by the way. The Absolute Universe was created by Darkseid. It's a brutal world where the villains represent order and the heroes embody chaos. The good guys are the massive underdogs with zero advantages. Wonder Woman never got her Amazon training. Hal Jordan was never a pilot. Or Green Lantern, Oliver Queen died before he could become Green Arrow. And whoever took his mantle is a straight up serial killer. Absolute Batman is no billionaire with a mansion or a butler. He's just a regular 9-to-5 engineer who built all his gear from scratch. No endless money, no elite training. Everything he has, he made himself. All his fighting skills come from right here in America. So you get a Batman who learned to fight from the friends, studied the city like a scientist, and looks like a damn juggernaut. The first 6 issues really take their time to build him. You watch young Bruce Wayne, filled with rage after his father's murder, slowly turn that anger into Batman persona. Feel how brutal the world is that he's fighting against. You also meet Alfred, a burned out ex-M16 agent who's been seen too much insane things. He's always trying to get Bruce to cut a deal with the villains, but Batman never folds. More importantly, you meet his real crew: Wilson Jones, Oswald Cobblepot, Edward Nygma, Harvey Dent, Selina Kyle. These characters become the emotional heart of the series. They stood by Bruce through his darkest moments, even when he hid the fact he was Batman, and they paid the price for it. Even though he still has his mother and his crew in the universe, Bruce isn't nearly as dark or antisocial as the main Batman, but damn, this man knows how to hurt people. The series is ridiculously violent. It's actually hilarious. This Batman is way more brutal than the regular one. He curses, trash talks, and beats the crap out of people, but he never loses his heart. He still protects Gotham, feeds the poor, and no matter how far he's pushed, he refuses to kill. The Black Mask arc shows you how badass Absolute Batman is. But the moment Black Mask goes down, the series stops being just fun and becomes straight up peak fiction. The villains from issue 7 show just how insane Bruce really is. He's constantly fighting monsters straight out of a Dark Souls nightmare with almost no resources. You could honestly call Absolute Batman PG-14 Berserk. The villains are that powerful and horrifying. The series goes from showing how badass this Batman is to straight up begging Bruce to hang up the cape and get the hell out of Gotham. All the villains so far are actually really interesting, but if I had to pick two that stand out the most, it's these two right here. First is Absolute Bane. A lot of writers in comics or movies feel like they only ever read Nightfall. All they remember is the big hulking guy who broke Batman's back. They completely forgot that Bane is actually a super intelligent mastermind, a martial arts monster who can outthink Batman just as easily as he can overpower him. He's a man who shares a tragic past with Bruce. Both lost their childhood, both trained their whole lives for one single goal. But Bane made all the wrong choices and became a villain. Scott Snyder actually gets Bane even though he's written as an enforcer who does the dirty work for a bigger villain. The way he gets juiced up and turns into a kaiju is probably the best version of Bane we've seen in years. He's hyper intelligent, knows every martial art, every strategy, and is a perfect dark mirror of Bruce. Just like Absolute Batman, Bane fought the system to free his people in Santa Prisca, but in the end he gave in despite how much he loved his father. He never truly believed in his words the way Bruce did. He was simply tired of fighting, so when he had the chance to kill his father and trade a lifetime of slavery for his people's peace, Bane took the deal. He committed some straight up horrible things and took part in risky experiments, but deep down he still just wanted to be free and live in peace. So when the Joker nuked his hometown, you can't help but feel bad for him even after everything he's done. Second one is Absolute Joker, and man, if Batman is already oversaturated in the main universe, then the Joker, it's on a whole other level. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm actually starting to hate the Joker. It feels like we literally cannot have a Batman story without him being the main villain. Everyone praises Batman's rogue gallery, but these days it's just Joker and his friends. Ever since 2011, the Joker is always written like some wannabe philosopher with insane plot armor that puts Batman to shame. Every major Batman story has him trying to one-up the Killing Joke and death in the family, and it makes it harder and harder to explain why some regular cop hasn't just put a bullet in his head yet. I'm so sick of the main universe Joker. He doesn't even joke anymore. Modern writers turned him into this super genius homicidal maniac instead of an actual clown who just does whatever the hell he finds funny. But Absolute Joker is completely different. The best word to describe him is refreshing. Darkseid took every single advantage the main Batman has and given them all to the Joker. He's a trillionaire, knows every martial art, he's a super genius, lives in a massive manor with a butler and a cave. And get this, he even looks exactly like the main universe Bruce Wayne. And if that isn't terrifying enough, we find out Absolute Joker has been alive for centuries. He knows every secret of the Absolute Universe, runs his own Justice League, and even has a demonic monster that eats whoever the hell he wants. This Joker is a straight up devil. Even though we've seen two different backstories, there's still so much we don't know about him, and that just makes him 10 times more terrifying. Absolute Joker is what happens when the Joker becomes a successful comedian, builds a perfect life, and represents order. Even with every advantage in the world, he still feels completely empty inside. All Jokers do best in chaos. So a Joker who represents order and has every advantage handed to him on a silver platter is probably the most miserable Joker of all. And honestly, it feels like he's loving every second of Batman fighting back against him. So watching him sick Black Mask, Bane, and now Scarecrow on Batman knowing he's the main reason Gotham is this broken and might have even played a part in Thomas Wayne's death is straight up satisfying. He's everything Batman is fighting against. Seeing him move for real is gonna be both chilling and an absolute treat. All in all, Absolute Batman is amazing. It is generally the best thing happening to Batman right now. Scott Snyder is a hit or a miss. He gets Batman, but sometimes he gets way too full of himself. After Court of Owls, he went full death metal, and that's exactly what I'm worried about. But Absolute Batman is Scott Snyder at his absolute best. The art from Nick Dragotta and Frank Martin is incredible. Even the guest artists are killing it. The whole team is clearly having a blast with this book, and when the creators are locked in, we as fans get to enjoy every single page right along with them. If you're still on the fence about picking up Absolute Batman, grab it now. You won't regret it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and sub for more. I'm out. Peace!